Thanks for clicking, and follow Geekdom 101 on Twitter at Emperor Big D.
So I wanted to make a quick video here about this tweet that I did not cover in yesterday's video. And this video, or this tweet, is from Shueisha, the official V-Jump Twitter account, talking about the upcoming Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 68. And here in this tweet, I'm going to read this to y'all and kind of give you my thoughts on what they're talking about here, because there's a lot of speculation about what's going to happen with Granolah and who these new characters are. And, I have to give my thoughts on some things. So please be aware, too, that we will be having spoilers dropping in the next few days. So keep an eye on your sub box. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you're not getting notified for my content, unsubscribe, then resubscribe, hit the notification. Make sure you set it to all notifications, because YouTube is just a mess when it comes to this, and it's really hurt my channel a lot and a lot of others too, because the notifications are broken. So definitely do that. If you get notified, you're fine. But if you don't get notified, if you're on that list, just do that and you'll be good. Anyways, so he says here from V-Jump, entering a new chapter, popular serialization, whatever. This is all from Google Translate, but it's pretty accurate. Goku completed the Secret of Selfishness, which, by the way, in case you don't know, Secret of Selfishness is the Mastery of Self movement, aka Ultra Instinct. I did a whole video with Herms like 3 years ago where we broke down what Migate no Gokui means, and Secret of Selfishness is one of the translations. There's like multiple translations because the word Migate no Gokui, the phrase, is like a pun mixed with it's like two puns together, but it can't really make sense in English. You know what I mean? It's a translation thing. It's lost in translation. So that's what we're talking about, Ultra Instinct. So he's talking about Goku mastering UI now with the silver hair, and became the strongest human being in this universe. Now, human being, of course, the word they're using is Ningen, which is mortal. So just look at it as being the strongest mortal. So they're straight up saying right now he's the strongest mortal, like no one's close, which I kind of agree with. I mean, you can't really argue it. A warrior who surpasses Goku was about to be born in the 7th universe. So what they're basically saying here, now this is partially, some would say this is hyperbole, this is bait, in the sense of course, whoever's next is going to surpass Goku. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, every time there's a new arc, the next villain has to either be as strong as Goku or at some point surpass Goku for there to be drama. You can't have a villain appear who's weaker than Goku unless they plan on giving him a power-up at some point to make him equal to Goku or higher. It's very rare that works. In fact, it almost never works, because where's the drama? One of the reasons as to why, like when Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was punishing Cell, why they even had Super Perfect Cells, because the difference in power was so high that they had to give Cell a boost. Now it turns out that Gohan was still stronger, right? It's just that he was holding back. And they could do something like that here, but Goku's already kind of past the point of, not knowing what his real power is, like Gohan was in the Cell games. Did a whole video about that as well. So the idea here is that the new villain coming up is whoever it is. It could be Granolah. It probably is Granolah, or it could be whoever Granola's working for. Because if you remember, Granolah took OG-73 and he's taken him to this place, this planet called Heater or something like that. And it could be that the H on these guys' uniform is for this Heater or Heat planet or something like that. So, and again, we don't know yet. I'm just speculating. So that could end up being that Heater guy could end up being Granola's way to get revenge. It could be his way of going after Frieza or going after Goku, whoever he goes after. Maybe he's going to use that guy. Maybe Granola's not really a strong fighter himself. Maybe he'll use that Heater guy as his tool, to go after these guys. But the thing I want to really touch on here, because I see you guys talking about this in the comment section and all over social media, is where it says a warrior who surpasses Goku was about to be born. Now, the phrase born, I think, can be used in two different connotations here. Born could mean he's gonna born as far as his power. He's gonna find this new power, maybe through 7-3. Maybe it'll be because of 7-3's crystals or whatever. His brain mechanism, whatever. Not crystals, I'm thinking of moral. Or maybe he'll be literally born. It could actually be a situation where they're going to create something like Baby. I've seen a lot of people, tons of people have been talking about the similarities between this and the Baby arc of GT. Now, there's not that many similarities, but one of the similarities is that the Cerealians or whatever are kind of the Sephorians, in that, they had like a problem with the Saiyans. They were wiped down. They're back for revenge. It's not a story that's foreign to Dragon Ball. In fact, if you really want to go even deeper, Baby himself is a copy of another storyline. Because before Baby, there was Hachiak. Because in Japan, the plan to eradicate the original Palladium video game, the original one, not Raging Blast, the original one came out way before GT, like 3 years, I think, before GT. So, as far as there being a Tuffle or a Sephorian who is angry at the Saiyans, that's been done. It was Hachiak and Dr. Raichi, and then in GT it was Dr. Miyu and, Baby. So, we don't know yet, but they could be kind of taking ideas from that. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time it's happened. Dragon Ball Super Broly is an example of them taking ideas that were not really Toriyama concepts and turning them into, new story ideas. Some would say canonizing them, but I don't like using the word canonizing because DBS Broly is not a canonization of DBZ Broly. They're two different characters. It's more like a reboot. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like what they're doing with the Disney Star Wars stuff, like, Dark Troopers. Those are from Dark Forces, the video games. They're borrowing ideas. So there could be a possibility for sure that this is copying the Baby arc, without question. But I do wonder if the born phrase is actually literally being born, as in being created. Because remember, Granolah, he may end up being some kind of scientist or somebody who has vast knowledge of how to do things. He didn't create 7-3 though, but he might know about things like that. You never know. He might be a scientist. We don't know everything about him yet. But so it could be that he could be genetically modifying characters or something like that to eventually like create this super being, kind of like Cell. It's very similar to Cell, honestly. But again, the Moro arc borrowed from like 4 or 5 different Dragon Ball arcs, so this shouldn't surprise you. But I think what they mean here is just hyperbole as far as Goku's about to be challenged again. But that shouldn't surprise you because that's what they always do. It's Dragon Ball. Every time there's a new arc, they have to introduce somebody to challenge Goku, whether it be with magic, whether it be with just pure power, whether it be something. And I really hope that they don't introduce a new form for Goku. I think what we have right now is fine. But at the same time, I hope Goku just keeps developing MUI. I don't want them to give Goku a new form. But I hope that whoever this new character is, if they do beat him or how they beat him, is going to be a little bit more creative. I hope we see some creativity instead of it just being a new form. We'll see. I mean, luckily after silver-haired UI, who knows what could be beyond that, but probably not much, right? So what do you think down below in the comments? Let me know. Do you think that this born is literally being hatched or created? Or do you think that this is just a phrase like, oh, this person to be really strong? Like, what do you think? And also, do you think this is moving along too fast? I don't think so. I think there's lots left in the arc, but it does seem like things are moving at a much faster pace than they did during the Moro arc. This seems a lot faster, so I'm curious about where they go with it. Thank you guys, and we might get more spoilers tonight, if not tomorrow, but in the next few days for sure. Maybe something tonight. We'll see. I'll let you know. Thanks again. Have a great one, and we'll talk soon.